Now I have found the secret. I have found the absolute best way to kick period cramps ever. This is the video that Facebook deleted. We are talking about the best way to kick back at period cramps, and I don't really know why the video was deleted from Facebook. I've actually never had that happen. I did the live stream last Tuesday, and by the time I got off and I went back to download the video, it was gone. All the content about it was gone. So I reached out to Facebook, but it's not like they have like a call center or are helpful in any manner, let's be honest, because it's Facebook. So in any way, I want to give the information, so I decided I'm going to refilm it because it's incredibly important to know, especially if you're a female that deals with painful periods, endometriosis, fibroids, PCOS, all of the above. Like, periods are painful enough. We need to learn a better way to deal with them than just like, oh, suck it up and deal with it. Right, ladies? First, let's talk about why we have cramps and why they can be so bad. When we are on our menstrual cycle, basically our uterine walls and our muscles are contracting to slough off the inner uterine lining if it's not, hosting a fertilized egg that's going to then therefore turn into a baby at some point. So it needs to slough off that inner uterine wall, the lining, and so it does that by contracting. But a hormone-like substance called prostaglandins actually triggers those contractions, those muscles to start contracting. Now, prostaglandins are also triggered by injury, pain and inflammation, things like that. So the higher the prostaglandins, the higher pain you feel during your cramps, or during your menstrual cycle, rather, the worse your cramps are going to be because you have a higher level of that hormone substance, prostaglandins. Now, the higher inflammation you have in your body, the higher prostaglandins you already have because your body is producing the prostaglandins in response to the inflammation in your body. Now, I know you're probably like, how do I tell if I have a higher level of prostaglandins in my body? I know, I can read your mind, we're besties. A good gauge would be how much inflammation do you have in your body, aka how much pain do you have in your body, how much pain do you have in your joints, how much pain do you have maybe in your back, especially if you're over 40, how painful was your last menstrual cycle. All of those are going to be really good gauges to see if your inflammation is higher or also that your prostaglandins are on a higher level. Now, here is the crazy part. This is like a sick joke from Mother Nature because the food that we crave during our period, like the salty stuff and the sugary stuff, both of those cause inflammation in the body. I don't know what you crave, but my crave is like chocolate and potato chips. I used to just slam chocolate and like let it melt in my mouth. But the higher the sugar, content, the more inflammation in your body, which is going to produce more prostaglandins, which is going to keep your period cramps on a level 10. Why? Why does this have to be like this? That's what I want to know, honestly, from Mother Nature. And I intend to ask at one point, towards the end, because we already have to deal with having periods. Like, then we have to crave the stuff that's going to make the period cramps worse. Are you with me? Instead, let's talk about the best foods to help relieve those period cramps because I am all for that. Now, the first one that I'm going to tell you is not a food at all, and it is water. I can already hear my mom right now, like, make sure to drink enough water, Renee. And I never did. I never listened, and I kick myself for it now, and now I nag my children. But water is so important, especially when we're on our menstrual cycle. Like, we're losing blood, we need to rehydrate. So getting a good 60 to 80 ounces, depending on your activity level and your body, but getting enough water, super, super important and will help relieve your cramps. Foods that will help are like strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, leafy greens like spinach, kale, broccoli helps, but can also, it's on the edge because it can be gassy and you can already get the period farts. So chia seeds, flax seeds, what else? Mushrooms, grapes, tomatoes, olive oil, turmeric, lots of think of anti-inflammatory foods. I know you can find a list on Google of anti-inflammatory foods. What I like to do is I like to pack my big protein shake, and I'll put spinach in there, I'll put berries in there, flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed. Hemp seed's another one, and I'll get all of those good anti-inflammatory foods. So I just get this big protein shake packed with all of this food that's going to help really alleviate those cramps. Now, I have found the secret. I have found the secret to kick back at those period cramps, to be like, take that. I don't have to take you anymore. I tested this out myself many times, and even last week I started my period. Now, I had anticipated having a heavier cycle, and with those heavier periods come more intense cramps because there's more contractions, there's more sloughing off that's gonna be happening, there's more prostaglandins, the whole shebangy bang. Now, here is the secret. If you do a sugar detox, if you do a 10-day sugar detox through your period, and you're starting maybe 3 days before you start your period, and then you go through your menstrual cycle on a sugar detox, oh my gosh, I am telling you that literally I couldn't even remember that by the end of the first day I started my period. I was like, did I have cramps today? That was kind of weird. I don't remember feeling any cramps like at all. Now, since I had my car accident, when I have cramps, and especially intense menstrual cycle cramps, because I broke my back and my hip and my sacrum, literally that whole area will ache really bad, and usually I'll have the heating pad around it and pop a couple Motrin, and I'm talking nothing last week, nothing. So sugar detox, high for sure the way to go, absolutely, because you're reducing all of that inflammation in the body, which means you're reducing the prostaglandins, which means your cramps are going to hurt less. We're all for that. Absolutely. So if you want to know more information about how I run my online 10-day sugar detox, I'm going to leave a link here so you can check out Sugar Warrior 10. Don't take my word for it. You can check out the testimonials, and any woman I've ever had go through Sugar Warrior 10 while they were on their menstrual cycle were like, cramps? What cramps? That's shocking. Like, really? That's what's really making my cramps so much worse? And it could not be the end all be all for you. Maybe you have severe PCOS and endometriosis. But I can guarantee you that this will absolutely help.